Hello, everyone, and happy Sunday to you. Let us look at what is possibly going to be happening on the US oil from a technical standpoint during this week. Now, scaling up into the daily time frame, as you can see on your screen right now, we can see that price has consistently found higher highs and higher lows in the last 2 years. This is evident after connecting the series of higher lows here to give us this resulting bullish trend line that I was able to identify on the daily time frame. And if we zoom into the structure we have here in the last 2 months, we will observe, hold on a second, I want to zoom in so that we can see what I'm talking about here. We can see that we have been witnessing multiple rejection of that bullish trend line that has been holding price action in the last 2 years. But something interesting happened during the early days of this month as we saw a significant breakdown retest of that bullish trend line to give us that possible bearish momentum might be coming in the nearest future. Now, what happened after we had that breakdown of structure? If we zoom in here, we can see how this engulfing impulsive move took price right from the $97.60 area in the later part of the month of August, which led into an outright breakdown of that bullish trend line. Then it appears we saw price come back to do a rejection of that bullish trend line during the course of last week trading session to give us a signal that there is going to be a possible bearish momentum coming in this week. So going into the new week at this point, the only thing we might want to be looking at from the standpoint is that a bearish momentum might be coming in. And if we look at this from a technical standpoint, whenever we cite a breakdown of structure, like the bullish trend line that was broken down here during the early days of this month, we expect that price will go further to give us a confirmation of a downtrend scenario after a retest of structure happens. And this is exactly what happened last week. We saw a sharp rejection of this area, which led into this engulfing candle that took price action during the second to the last day of last week trading session. So now that we're going into the new week, how do we intend to trade the US oil? Now, before I scale down to the lower time frame, I also want to share with you another structure I was able to identify here after looking at what has been happening since the month of June. Looking at what happened in the month of June, we can see that price has consistently found lower lows and lower highs. You can see the structure we have here, and as a result of this, I was able to connect the series of lower highs here to give us that resultant bearish trend line that you can see on your screen with the black dotted line. Now you can see that the bearish move collapsed right back into the bullish trend line here, and then we saw the breakdown of that structure, giving us that bearish signal I shared with you earlier. So we are right at a very, very significant point at this point, and the need to trade this one will require that we scale down to a much lower time frame. So in this regard, I was able to go to the 4 hours time frame. And what do we have on the 4 hours time frame? Scaling down to the 4 hours time frame, the first thing I observed here since the beginning of the month is that price has been caught within a descending channel. And if you allow me to give you a visual representation of what I'm talking about here, we can see as soon as price climbed right into the $97.50 level, we saw price found this low, and then we saw this move like this, giving us a clue of an indecision caught within a descending channel here. Now, the next thing I did here is to identify a key level that will be guiding my actions going forward. And that key level came around the $87 mark. And if we look into the past, at least as far as the beginning of the month of August, we can see that this level has been a major determinant of price action in the past. The first one here in the month of August, we saw multiple rejection here by the buyers in the month of August, and later in the mid of August we saw another rejection of this level by the buyers. So we can see how this level has been a buying niche in the past, re- heading into the later part of the month of August, where we saw the outright breakdown retest of that level to give us a signal of a bearish momentum. Though price came back up a little bit right above that level, but it was met with stiff resistance by the sellers, hereby respecting that descending channel one more time to push price to break down that key level at the $87 mark. So with the current information we have here on the US oil and the key level we have at $87 mark, I want to be using this level as my yardstick going forward. So what I want to be seeing now is if price continues to trend right below the $87 level, I want to be looking for selling opportunities at this point. However, if price climbs right above that level, hereby breaking out of this resistant level of this descending channel, it could be um, evolving into a bullish momentum in such a way that we have a breakout or retest to structure, retest of the resistant level or the key level here to push price to the upside. But if price continues to rally right below that level, like I said, I want to be looking for selling opportunities. Now, let's see what happened during the course of last week's trading session, and let's see how we could actually take advantage of any momentum lining up for us here. So during the course of last week's trading session, we saw a scenario where price started the week at the $85 level. We saw this bullish move right above that key level. We saw multiple rejection. Price retest that resistant level of the descending channel. This was followed by a series of bearish candle, resulting into an engulfing candle that broke down that key level at $87 level. But something interesting happened during the later part of last week. We saw how price was caught within a consolidation phase right within the $85.70 level and the $84.70 level. As we can see, it appears that there is an indecision at this point in the market. So now with the current structure we have here right now, and from a technical standpoint, we can see that we have a bearish rectangle pattern. We can see, hold on a second, let me show you how that is. We had this impulsive move to the downside, which is the leg. Then we saw the consolidation phase right here, resulting into that bearish rectangular pattern I'm showing you. So what I want to be looking forward to from a technical standpoint is that whenever we cite a bearish rectangular pattern like this, is more or less a trend continuation pattern, but it will only be mature when we cite a breakdown of that structure. So if we cite a breakdown of the structure during the new week, I want to be seeing this as a signal of a trend continuation to the downside. And in as much as we are going to be seeing the signal, we don't want to get too excited, as we want to wait for price action to give us further confirmation, which is likely going to come in the form of a retest of structure. That is, price will likely come back into the support level of this channel, or within the channel here, where we look out for patterns on lower time frame to join the decline to the downside. So that is one scenario I want to be looking forward to. And if that happens, we want to be having our take profit target on a long-term perspective right at the support level of this descending channel, which probably is going to be around the $78, $79, $77 area. So that is one scenario we are looking forward to. And then the other perspective we might be looking forward to is we might have a false breakout of the channel where price breaks above the channel here, going back into the $87 level, a retest to structure where price might likely come back to do a retest of that bearish trend line where multiple rejection of that level, and you can see this level also shares a confluence with the key level at the $87 mark, after which we might be seeing scenarios on lower time frame that will support a trend continuation to the downside. So that is the second scenario I'm looking at. And the third scenario is the possibility of a breakout of that resistant level to incite a trend continuation to the upside. So this is how I want to be looking at the US oil against the new week, but be rest assured that I will be giving you an update after monitoring how price action is going to relate to this level around here between the channel here and the key level here during the early hours of the week, after which I will be sharing an update in the comment section of this video. So I'll be pausing this video at this point in time and let's see how price action will play going forward. If this video has been of immense help to make your individual decision on the US oil in the new week, kindly support this project by clicking the like button. You would also want to follow me on my TradingView platform at DarkSherry so that you don't miss out on the regular updates I normally share in the comment section. Thank you for watching and liking this video, and I hope to see you on Monday. Bye bye.